Hey you blurs and nerds, welcome back or welcome to my channel if you're new! So, today I'll be diving into the significance of Black women in nerd culture. From influential individuals and groups who are making their mark for change, to challenges we face in the community. Which is annoying. You'll hear about the highs and the lows of being a Black female nerd. Let's get started.
You just make me wanna say, hey, it's me. We've been talking twice a week. I like the speed. It just makes me wanna say, hey, it's me.
Now, before we get into the nitty-gritty of today's issues, let's take a little history lesson because this isn't a new problem, but a consistent one. Even in the past, Black women in nerd culture were being pushed to the sidelines, with barely any representation, stereotypical portrayals, and just plain old discrimination. Early comics and TV shows would often keep them as background characters or stereotype them by having them play the infamous sassy sidekick.
Vision, will you help me out when I'm not here?
If it keeps him like this, yes.
Will you be able to do that without falling in love with him?
Also, yes. I think this is going to be great, Angie. I think you and me are going to make a great team.
Oh, you looking for a sassy Black friend?
Oh, no, I didn't.
Well, you got one now, girlfriend. Gone.
A trope put on Black characters since the beginning. Black women didn't see enough of themselves in stories or behind the scenes, which caused a lot of misunderstandings and what they truly are behind all the assumptions. So like way back in the day, in early superhero comics, Black women characters were mainly stuck into supporting roles or simply portrayed as one-dimensional stereotypes. A good example of this would be characters like Misty Knight in the Marvel comics or Bumblebee in the DC comics. They were mainly the sidekicks of the white male MCs, with very limited development of their own characters or storylines. Another example of this would be the limited representation in video games. Back when gaming was just starting out, there were barely any Black female characters, and if there was, they were minor roles or portrayed in stereotypical ways. For instance, in games like Mortal Kombat and Left 4 Dead 2, characters like Jax's mom and Rochelle felt flat and only showed stereotypes, instead of showing the many different sides of Black women. So, after hearing all of this, it's easy to understand why Black characters were misrepresented and whatnot, but don't worry, there was a resolution. So, have you ever heard of the Afrofuturism movement? It's this really cool movement that combines elements of African culture and sci-fi. Basically, it's about picturing different futures where Black culture and perspectives are what runs society. Can you imagine that? That would be really different. Think of it as a way to challenge the usual stereotypes and stories in nerd culture. So I want to name some of the notable visionaries of this. We have Octavia Butler, Samuel R. Delaney, and Sun Ra. They were the heads of this movement. They told stories that were all about who we are, feeling strong, and making things feel fair. Their creations made people stop and think. It inspired writers, artists, creators alike to get creative and dream of a world where everyone's voice counts. They were the ones who basically sparked the whole movement of imagination and empowered people in many ways that are still going strong today. But you know what I love about Black women? When there isn't a room for us, we don't just wait around, because there are these amazing groups run by Black women which are shaking up nerd culture, if I do say so myself. And they're bringing new changes. Black Girl Gamers was started by Jay and Lopez in 2015. It's all about giving Black women and girls who love gaming a safe online space to call our own. They're pushing for more Black women to be seen and heard in the gaming world through events, forums, and through the socials.
The first game that I played online, I think the first time I played online,
technically it was Habbo Hotel. Technically speaking, it was Habbo Hotel. If you're talking about online, that's what it is.
Then there's Black Nerds Create, which was once called Black Girls Create. It was created in 2017 by Black Harry Potter fans. They're all about celebrating being Black and nerdy by sharing stories and encouraging more diversity in nerd culture with podcasts, articles, and events.
Discuss these problems, the problems of casting of people of color as series regulars and colorblind casting of small roles without engaging with the identity of the actors.
Oh, we can't forget about the BadBlerdBae podcast. It was started by Black women anime fans. thought about talking anime and manga from a black perspective, breaking stereotypes, and bringing in black anime fans together online. These groups show how black women are leading the change to make nerd spaces more inclusive and diverse for everyone. So, being a black woman in the nerd culture comes with its own set of problems. You have racism and sexism, but hey, we have showed time and time again that we're not ones to back down from a challenge. Many times. We'll keep on demanding the recognition and respect we deserve, while breaking those stereotypes and rooting for diversity. Together, we're reshaping nerd spaces to be inclusive and welcoming for everyone, one step at a time. Now, onto the topic of Megan Thee Stallion.
It's a discrimination to nerds everywhere, okay? It's race.
She's out here trailblazing as a black woman nerd icon.
Twitter, what anime do you watch? I am wholeheartedly curious. I love My Hero Academia. I love Attack on Titan. I love Bleach. Of course, I love Naruto. I'm watching Black Butler right now. I'm watching Black Clover too. I like Soul Eater. That one was fire. Okay, man, I watch a lot of anime, okay?
She's providing proof that being a black woman and loving anime can indeed go hand in hand. Megan has been centering herself in the nerd community with her amazing cosplays and her love for anime. But one of the oddest things about this, not everyone is okay with this. There's been this major discourse surrounding her, especially among those quick to doubt her just because she's a rapper and a woman. They don't believe Megan truly likes anime or that she doesn't really know the character she's cosplaying. So you mean to tell me you see a beautiful woman cosplaying and the first thing you think to yourself is, does she really know who these characters are? Is she faking this? So, do y'all want the baddies to not like anime, or what's the deal with that? And then there's the added layer of controversy surrounding her after the whole Tory Lanez incident. Look, I get that people might have mixed feelings about her, but here's the thing. Regardless of where you stand on her, or how you feel about her, you can't deny the fact that Megan is bringing major attention to black women in nerd culture. And that's truly something worthy of celebrating. Let's give her a round of applause for that. Not to be candid, gushy, or personal or anything, but she's honestly the only... Go sit. Go. I think she wants to say hi. Say hi. Say hi. Say hi. Ooh. Not to be candid or personal or anything like that, but she's honestly the only celebrity that I can truly say I ever felt a connection with. I've never seen a black woman be into anime or have a nerdy side in the mainstream media. I grew up seeing the same archetype of black women all my life on TV. Someone that was foreign to me, someone that was not me. But Megan is the one that makes me feel seen. I don't feel like I'm being weird or feeling alone in my passions anymore. She's exactly what the nerd community needed to progress towards diversity. She even flew all the way to Japan to present the Anime of the Year award at the Crunchyroll Awards.
I'm so excited. Okay. First of all, congratulations to all of the honorees tonight. This was such an amazing year for anime, and it's a testament to the talented creators seated in this room tonight. And shout out to all the anime fans watching all around the world. I love that they get the chance to vote for these awards, and we really get to find out what the fans are vibing to. Now, it is my honor to present Anime of the Year. And the award for Anime of the Year goes to Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2!
That was a big moment and I love to see it. And let's not forget about her Gojo cosplay she did. It was amazing. My favorite. Not to be biased, not to be biased. It's important to remember that while there may be controversies surrounding her, her influence in the anime community is significant, and her overall character shouldn't overshadow the impact she's made. I understand people who don't favor Megan Thee Stallion, but what she's done for the nerd community, helping it become mainstream, and black spaces, showing that black people can be, in fact, nerdy, like anime, cosplay.
Now, I know that we give COVID a lot of credit when it comes to the anime boom that happened a few years ago, but when will we start giving Megan Thee Stallion that same credit? Now, if you have something negative to say or something hateful to say, what I want you to do is delete your comment, because it simply will be deleted later on by me. And then you will be blocked. And if you have that much time to waste, I suggest we start putting in job applications. Y'all need to start cutting my good sister some checks, especially you, Horikoshi, because do you know how many eyes she put on your product? On your product? Ever since she was on the front cover of Paper magazine cosplaying as Todoroki, the world shifted. And you can have her to thank for that. And on top of that, one of your sisters is literally doing the Lord's work every day because she uses her as a muse to create miracle artwork. So if we ever get a live action, just know that my good sis Megan better be third in line, only after Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair.
That was an impact that I feel like we shouldn't turn a blind eye to. I just want to highlight her impact on the nerd community for black women. In nerdy spaces, black women deal with some aggravating situations because of both racism and sexism. One of the biggest issues is gatekeeping, and I cannot stand gatekeepers. These are the people who doubt and brush off black women's interest and knowledge, making us feel misunderstood and quite frankly disrespected, if I do say so myself. This definitely makes it hard to enjoy things considered nerdy. I don't even want to think about those anime quizzes they give. We might be seen as the angry black woman or get reduced to being ghetto or ratchet. These stereotypes don't show the full range of personalities that a black woman can have. People also feel like we're just saying we like anime because it's trendy or we want clout. Just because you overlooked us in the past does not mean we never existed. We were there. We were always in nerdy spaces, just not accepted or noticed. I know it's random, but another outrageous thing I hear is that we don't want nerdy men and we only want street gangsters. I don't know why they keep jumping onto these weird conclusions. It's very odd because I can tell you not all black women are the same, like not all black men, right? Many nerdy women would love to have a nerdy guy, but ask yourself this: does she not want you because you're nerdy, or is it because she doesn't find you attractive?
A lot of people are saying this. A lot of people are saying that like black girls don't like nerds, blah, blah, blah. But the thing is, but there are black girls who are also nerds. So like, would you ever guess that I, myself, am a nerd? Like, I literally play Sudoku for fun. But would you guess that by looking at me? No. The issue with a lot of these black guys who call themselves nerds is because they dress like the stereotypical caricature of a nerd. They be slouching, they be looking like they're scared, darting eyes. They be wearing these outfits that are never on trend, they never fit them correctly. Their haircuts are never good. Like, y'all just be looking like a nerd, you know? And honestly, like, no one really, like, people don't really want that, you know? So just switch up your outfits, you know, get a haircut, put on some cologne, roll your shoulders back, sit up straight, because you might have a great personality, but if no one can get past your appearance, then no one's going to see your personality.
Also want to mention how it's interesting how there's this expectation of how black women nerds should look, as if there's a certain look that makes someone a nerd. If you don't fit into that stereotype, some people will doubt if you're really an anime fan or a nerd or not. It's like they have this fixed image in their minds, and if you don't fit into it, they question if you're a true fan or not. But you know what? Being a nerd isn't about conforming to some standard. It's about embracing what you love, no matter how you look while doing it. To keep it real, I also noticed that people don't really expect nerds to be conventionally attractive. Instead, they expect them to fit a certain stereotype, like being socially awkward, wearing glasses, not having any dress game. So when someone who is conventionally attractive and they identify as a nerd, it throws people off. I'm not lying. They might not accept it because it doesn't fit their idea of what a nerd should look like. But I don't want to get into that too much right now. I'm going to say that for our video later on. But despite all this, Black women are continuing to push forward in nerd communities. We're challenging stereotypes and fighting for more representation and inclusion. Listening to our voices and offering support where you can is the best way to create inclusive nerd spaces where everyone feels accepted. Not to mention, on online forums, Black women often face challenges like having our knowledge questioned because of our race and gender. Cueing those annoying anime trivia questions I mentioned before.
See, after I seen that post on Twitter showing that all of Megan Thee Stallion's cosplays, I firmly realized a lot of men in the anime community only, and I mean only, question women if they like anime for real. It's like y'all will quiz them. Y'all be like, name 20 anime characters right now. Nigga, they can give you 50. And not even shonen anime. They can give you rom-com and all that other extra bullshit. Like, bruh, stop living in a false reality. They like anime. Let go of your dumbass trauma of you getting flamed for Naruto running across the fucking hallway. And y'all that are quizzing them, letting y'all know this right now. To the people that are quizzing the women that like anime, you're CEO and No Hoes Incorporated.
This usually leads to dismissive comments about our interests and having to deal with hostile comments like racial slurs and sexism. Gaming communities aren't much better. We may receive harassment, unfair treatment in online games, and feeling excluded in comic book stores. Sometimes we can feel ignored or feel out of place in this male-dominated space. These experiences should let you know that there are ongoing challenges Black women go through in nerd spaces. It's important to create spaces where everyone feels welcome and respected regardless of their background. By taking these issues head on and promoting inclusivity, we can make nerd communities more enjoyable and supportive for everyone. I had to get my iPad out for this one. So I asked the girlies online on my Instagram to give me some of their candid stories and experiences of being a Black female nerd, and let's see what they gave me. So one of my followers said a pro is the amazing cosplays is entertaining, just like movies. Another pro is you meet a lot of cool people and that we are rare. A con is you have to prove you like it or you're faking it. And she says she's been watching Dragon Ball since way back. I believe her. Another con is we don't have a lot of representation of Black nerd girls, so that's why she supports me and others. Thank you so much for your response. Here's the next response. First off, let's start with the positives. I love being a nerd. My mom was actually the reason I even got into nerd culture. She introduced me to like Marvel, cosplay, and comics and all that stuff, but middle school and high school, those were my peak anime years, and I had like a few girlfriends who I could talk about like seasonal anime with. Now the negatives. Now the only negatives were like not feeling accepted or seen in those spaces, especially as a Black girl. We rarely saw ourselves in shows, anime, and even video games, and being told by people that nerd culture was white people stuff. I heard that before too. I used to be called an Oreo. I used to be called everything in a book because I was the girl who brought Pocky to school, and I would have my Shonen Jump manga. Yeah. And I used to draw too. I was a quiet kid. I would just draw and you wouldn't hear from me. Just sucked. Because it was like when we liked it, we were weird. But guys could talk about Dragon Ball, Final Fantasy, or whatever, and it was fine. Yes. Them guys was Kamehameha, and there was Naruto running and gym class. Everything was A-okay for them, but when we did it, it was a problem. It's cool when they do it. It's a problem when I do it.
It's cool when they do it. It's a problem when I do it. Fuck them.
I think the biggest positive, though, is being surrounded by more blerds with even more nerdy interests like board games, card games, cosplaying. I feel so much support and love from my girlies and even a few guys. Thank you so much for your response and going into detail, and we had similar experiences, so that should let you know that this is a common occurrence, guys. Okay, my next response. And she says, me personally don't really have any interactions in the community outside of the group chat. But I will say that I've noticed people are more willing to listen to male anime takes than female ones for sure. Most anime pages or podcasts are made by men, and in my experience, men can be very dismissive of female anime takes. When I've been watching anime for longer than most of them. But I am happy to see more Black women anime pages. Like you, Vaddie. I hope there's more and more because our voices are just as important as a man's. And we actually be knowing what we're talking about for real. Yes, we do. We do. Ask a guy about any form of Goku. He's gonna list every single one. But let it be a shoujo. Silence. Nothing. And here is our last personal story from one of my friends. And she says, oh yeah, they are usually bad though. It's either I'm faking like an anime, I'm getting trivia on characters I generally know about and when, or I'm just weird. Unusual. Others sometimes try to take advantage of us. I realize that we are needy or something. Thank you so much for your response also. I love hearing from you guys and hearing your personal stories. And if you're interested in possibly having your personal story shared in a future video of mine, follow my Instagram and I'll be posting randomly on my story for the next topic. And yours may be in my next video. So, you may know already that I'm an anime content creator myself, and I definitely had a fair share of people saying I'm doing this for clout or that I'm hopping on the trend.
And bitch, I need. If I go broke, I'm taking your funds, yeah, bitch, I need it.
It just further proves my point of Pander. So what you about to sit here and say that there ain't no ugly girl watching anime at all? You a liar. I see more anime girls that's ugly than anime girls that's pretty. Stop it. Stop the pander. Like, stop the pander. It's our fault, though, because I guarantee you got thousands of people following you because they want to pander to your nonsense. They want to be involved with the pander. The pander exists within them. You are a liar. You are a liar, and that's horrible to say. You should be canceled for that, to saying that only fine girls watch anime. That is an absolute positively lie. It's only fine girls pander from anime. That's what I'm going to say.
First of all, I was watching both Toonami and 4Kids TV on Saturdays as a kid. Stop assuming stuff, guys. It's giving you want to keep the nerd community one big sausage party forever. I mean, sorry, typo in the script. I meant to say, it's really mean. Now, it's funny because I just got this comment today. And this is what fueled me to film this video. I had the script written, I had all this stuff. I just needed to film. And this comment is a comment that fueled it. You know, anime has always been a thing for girls, including black girls. It's not some new trend that just happened within the past few years.
Stitch this and tell me a time a black woman...
This was me in middle school and none of y'all wanted me then. Let's stop acting like black female nerds don't exist. But now that I glowed up a little bit, y'all say I watch anime and play video games for male attention. So you want a nerdy girl, but not unless she looks like an IG model. And if she is pretty to you, then she's probably doing it for male attention. Just don't be an asshole and wear deodorant.
Well, yes, some people definitely are saying they like anime to be cool or they're faking it. But let's be real, let's not go around assuming who was clowning others for watching anime, because the same people you're putting down were probably getting clowned themselves. You ever think about that? Did you think about that? It's not fair to assume who's new to anime and who's not. Also, if they're new, what's the issue? It's natural for communities to grow over time, especially if the media in question is good. That's what I don't understand. If you think anime is so good, if you think anime is great, impactful, makes you feel all these feels on the inside, why are you surprised that more people are giving it a chance? Why are you surprised that more people are becoming fans of it? Why are you shocked that people are, when they finally give anime a chance, they like it? Let's say the people who used to not like anime or say whatever about anime, they probably never watched an anime in their life. But when they finally gave it a chance, that's when they realized that anime was good. That's why I recommend when you see a new anime fan, you welcome them into the fandom and you give them recommendations. Anyone who's faking it to be cool will fall off eventually. I mean, you can't fake it forever, right? Plus, about this whole shipping straight characters thing, even Japanese fans ship straight characters together. Look at the top ships for Jujutsu Kaisen in Japan. 19 out of 20 were gay ships, with number 1 being Gojo and Yuji, which is problematic in itself, but we don't gotta talk about that right now. And why assume everyone is new to anime? It's really giving that liking anime is your only personality trait, and that's the only thing that makes you unique. So when you see more people doing it and liking it, you don't feel as special anymore. And what's the issue with female cosplayers? Why can't we celebrate them? You want male cosplayers only? You're all the main ones that have waifus, body pillows. But when the real life girls cosplay as your waifus, that's the issue? You want cartoons? Only? Everyone should be able to express their love for anime however they want, no matter when they started or no matter who they are. That's my take on it. Okay. Being a black woman nerd isn't all bad. There's a lot of great things too. Being a part of an amazing community of black women nerds is very rewarding. We bond over our interests without any judgment. Being nerdy lets us get creative, whether it's through cosplay, writing fanfics, or gaming. What we're really all about is breaking those stereotypes and showing off our unique qualities and our love for nerdy things. It inspires others to keep being themselves and follow their passions. Because I love scrolling online and seeing all the beautiful black cosplayers and the comedy content creators with their funny skits. Now, let's talk about inspiring black/black adjacent characters in nerd media. We have Storm from X-Men with her weather powers, and Shuri from Black Panther. She is so smart and brave. She loves her family. Michigo from Michigo and Hachin. She's always toughing it out and protecting Hachin. We have Kanari from Hunter x Hunter. She shows her loyalty and strength. And then we have Yoririchi from Bleach. She's an icon herself. Does she even need an explanation?
I see. You overlook the fact that your leg still remains intact after being hit by me. It proves they are special.
You talking about my legs? Huh? What's so funny, smartass?
Damn it, you hurt my nose!
Then we have Miyuki Ayukawa from Bashqua. She's brave and athletic. And Mirko from My Hero Academia. She is super dedicated to fighting for justice.
While
most of these characters may not be officially confirmed as black, they still resonate with us and we see ourselves in them. It helps us immerse ourselves into the story and we can connect better with it. Diverse representation in nerd culture is super important for us. It helps us feel included. When black female characters are shown in important roles that actually reflects our experiences, it's like a breath of fresh air. Seeing characters who look like us go through similar things and still come out on top really hits home because it makes us feel inspired to conquer whatever problems we may have. Because having diverse representation helps break stereotypes and shows that nerdy black women are way more than what some people may think. When showing all kinds of different backgrounds, skills, and stories within the black community, creators can end those tired stereotypes and give us more relatable characters for us to latch on to. Now, whenever I come across a black female anime character, even if she's only slightly tanned, even the slightest, there's this immediate sense of connection I would feel. It's like seeing a reflection of myself in the show. Now, I get that some people may argue that these characters are Japanese, so they're automatically considered people of color, but here's the issue with that. They still don't fully represent my own experiences or identity. So while I do appreciate people pointing that out, I'm still longing to see characters who truly look like me and reflect my reality. When we see characters who look like us saving the day in major roles, it says out loud and clear that our voices matter, our stories are worth telling, and that we're valued in the fandom. Lip gloss break. Diverse representation isn't just about making stories more intriguing, it's about making nerdy spaces more welcoming for us. Celebrating different experiences and giving black women a chance to shine. We got some creative black women making big moves and inspiring us all. Check out Renegadis. She's all about anime and cosplay and shares her love for it all across her social media. And then there's Favorite Senpai. She's slaying the anime game with her super cute clothing brand Oh My Senpai. One of my good friends got me the Gojo shirt for my birthday. I love it. It's so cute. Then we have Black Bulma. Black Bulma is the queen of Dragon Ball. Any and everything Dragon Ball, she's the expert. She's actually local to me too, because she's in Pennsylvania, but she's in Philadelphia. I'm like 20 minutes from Philadelphia. And then Renegadis is also in Pennsylvania. She's also in Philadelphia. Like, I mean, Pennsylvania is obviously bringing the blur baddies out. Pennsylvania got a few, obviously. Got me, Black Bulma, Renegadis. I know you heard about Kira Please. She's the ultimate multitasker. She's juggling anime, cosplay, fashion, and lifestyle like a pro. I don't know how she does it. But I'm hoping I'll be like her one day. I'll be on her level. I'll get up there one day. And Toasty Marshmallow. She's a voice actor and she has a beautiful singing voice too.
Cause I like you a lot, so I'll give it a shot. Give it all that I got. La-dee-da-dee-da, la-dee-da-dee-dee.
Then we have Summer Drew. She's all about gaming and cosplay. And Cutie Pie Sensei. She is the ultimate goddess of cosplay. She transforms into all of our favorite characters and making a huge impact for Black cosplayers and nerds alike. These beautiful ladies are pure inspiration for nerds everywhere, especially Black women. They're showing us that it's okay to not follow the norm and do what we want. You should not let someone else dictate what you want to do with your life. This is your life. You live once. And yes, it may be hard to do what you want and not care and live on with a high head when you have people all around you trying to berate you and bring you down, but do your best to do what you want and fulfill your life, fulfill yourself. Alright, now let's dive into the Blerd Brigade, my Discord server, and see what they're saying. If you want the chance for your opinion to be shared in a future video of mine, join my Discord and head over to the YouTube discussions channel, and I can't wait to hear from all of you. Alright, our first person says, I love women being included in nerd spaces because it starts to break down the barrier of stereotypes. When we look at the stereotypes for nerds, ugly, loner, incel, etc., those are the opposite of people's images of women. It also forces us men to look at some behavior that we might not have seen as problematic before. True. I like that one because it brings up the stereotypes of what a nerd is. When you think about a nerd, you don't usually think of a Black woman when you think of a nerd. But yeah, thank you so much for giving me your response. Alright, the next person says, I have no issue. We weebs gotta stick together. But I will say, rather than the Black women, that the Black community in general has a stigma towards the nerd/weeb community. That is based on the idea if we don't talk like them, we are labeled as speaking like white people. Which I have nothing against, no race. But I feel like the Black community speaks a lot about being stereotyped and put in a box when we ourselves lower our own value. Thank you very much for that one. I can see what you're coming from. In the Black community, sometimes being a nerd is looked down upon because it's not what we're used to.
So at first I thought I was crazy. And after watching Dope in 2015 and becoming a content creator like a year ago, and other Black people having the same exact experience, Black people, I'm gonna say some Black people, but it feels like a total of the Black community really makes it seem like you don't want to be Black if you deviate from what they perceive as stereotypical Blackness. Like if you have interest or you have an aesthetic that's not seen as like Black, they automatically say that you want to be white or anything other than Black. Like for me, I'm from Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn, born and raised literally, and I was really like the only like girly girl, and I had a select few of nerdy friends, and people always would call me white girl. Like people thought I wanted to be white based on the things that I liked. Like, girl, what? And I found that the girly girls as well as the super nerds were always told that they wanted to be white or they weren't Black, etc., etc. And the thing is, we keep screaming to the people of the world that we're not monoliths, but treat each other as monoliths. We gotta stop that.
It's gonna become a norm in the Black community because there's so many Black people in the anime now. Just give it a few more years, it'll be one of the norms in the Black community. Alright, our next person says, women being a part of the nerd community should not be an issue. I believe everyone from different race, backgrounds, male or female, should express their nerdiness. Quite frankly, I enjoy seeing women cosplaying, revising comic books, talking about anime, and being excited about anime and Marvel and DC characters as much as me and every other man. And as us men, we should make this a safe space for women. Everyone has the right to their own opinion. Yes, I definitely do believe we should make sure the nerd community is a safe space for women. Allow them to be nerds. Allow them to geek out over their faves. Allow them to just be. And I'm going to read this one. This one I liked a lot. He is a really active member in the Discord. And he always has good input. So let's see what he says. I think it's cool to have them included because naturally it should isolate both sides less. Like for everyone who got bullied for it, we now both have the safety net that should be each other to talk about it freely, which we now do. But a lot of people just aren't used to having women in the community, which I guess gives certain people that superiority complex like, oh, women never talked about it openly before, so I'm definitely more cultured, but it's just a human nature. I think women are more accepted now, but give it like 3 more years and I think it'll be even more normalized and out there. He is right. We just need more time for this to slowly, gracefully shift in the culture that women can be nerds, black women can be nerds, anyone can be a nerd. If you like nerdy things, then you are a nerd. Here's another one. He says, women being included in nerd spaces is a good thing, but I don't think the inclusion is perfect yet. As an example, our friend and I once played in a Skullgirls local tournament, and after each game, I'd always get a dab or at least a handshake, but people were a lot colder. Not outright malicious, but acting in a passive-aggressive way, like not shaking her hand or saying GG's. TOs also assumed she lost every set as well. It made my friend feel like a bit of an outcast, and she hadn't done anything besides do well in the tournament. It might be more of a problem in some spaces more than others, but I like all spaces to feel safer for people who don't fit the usual mold of nerds. That's true. He's also a very active person in my Discord, and I'm really thankful you're in my Discord. Thank you so much, and thank you for your response. I only got one response from a girl, so I'm going to read her response. And she says, she's in the Bahamas. She's not in America, so she has a different experience. She says, when I came up, the community wasn't dominated by men or women. I wasn't questioned or bullied for being a girl in anime spaces. Here, at least. I was just a nerd who liked anime. I see the only 2 cons nowadays coming from one, being interrogated by self-appointed top-flight male gatekeepers of the anime community, and being sexualized. For example, when doing cosplays, etc. I see the pros being a developed community of people who are generally interested in assisting in and explaining choice anime. Not to mention the way an entire culture seeps through anime. I love that. Thank you so much for your response. Thank you everyone for your response. And again, if you want a chance to have your opinions in a possible video in the future, make sure you go to my Discord called the Blerd Brigade, head to the YouTube discussions channel, and the questions will be there. I enjoyed getting everybody's perspective, everyone's opinion, and the fact that while we all are in one community together, each person has a different perspective and experience while in nerd spaces. That's why I love getting voices from other people, so I can see if what they're thinking is what I'm thinking, or are we matching up? Are we having the same experiences? How can I understand their experience? How can they understand my experience? It's more like a community thing, trying to understand each other in a positive way and understanding all backgrounds of nerds. Alright, so we went over a lot today, and I'm hoping you learned something new and can finally understand that black women can be nerds, that we've always been here, and we're just getting started. Now the video is starting to come to an end, but I do want to leave you guys with a little message. Let's keep cheering on black women in nerd spaces. We're going to continue to break stereotypes, and we're going to make communities more inclusive for everyone. And I encourage you to join the movement and celebrating black women nerds, and let's keep pushing for more diversity and representation. I know this was a long watch, so if you're still here and listen to all of my yapping, I want to thank you so much. I just want black women to be accepted. So if you accept this black woman, then you should definitely subscribe, like, and comment. Be sure to follow me on all my other socials too. My username is the same all across the board. So that means on Instagram, I'm BadBlerdBae. On Twitter, I'm BadBlerdBae. On TikTok, I'm BadBlerdBae. If it doesn't get banned. Editing Bay here, and yeah, it gets banned. And I really want to get to 100,000 followers on Instagram by June Con. So please help me out with that. I'm so close. So close. Let me know how this video made you feel, and if I change your perspective in any way, and comment more topics you want me to deep dive. I think my next video will be something fun, because I don't want you guys to think I'm all boring and yappy now. Okay? Bye! Thanks for watching! Until next time, Blerd to Nerds.